key thing about jiu-jitsu, regardless of your body type, whether you're strong, whether you're lean, flexible, you've got endurance, regardless of what your body type or athletic capabilities are that you bring to the table, jiu-jitsu's got a game for you somewhere in the rainbow, okay? I'm a bigger guy and I play a bigger guy game. I don't go aerial. If I'm leaving the ground, I'm in trouble. I play a much more conservative. I've always been a huge fan of fundamentals, and I drill the hell out of fundamentals at my school, sometimes probably too much. I drill the hell out of it. I think it's more important than doing Barambola training in the squirrel guard and whatever the latest thing is. I would rather you know how to short crawl effectively. I wish you'd rather work on some very basic escapes or perfect an arm or perfect a choke or something like that. So likewise, my training and my rolling is typically not very flashy, and I have the mindset when I'm training that I want to have high percentage moves with a low cost. By that I mean I want a move that has a high percentage chance of being pulled off, whether it's to a sweep or a submission, and at low cost. I don't want to expend an excessive amount of energy. That will be a cost. And also factoring into the equation is what's going to happen if I screw it up. If I go for a certain flashy move and screw it up, what's the outcome at the screw up? So I try to minimize those and maximize and minimize those factors when I'm weighing out what I'm good at. You guys may be good at aerial things. I'm just not. Hey Jeff? All right. Okay. One of my favorite passes, guys, and it's very basic, but I'm going to tie 2 or 3 things in with it, is a double underpass, okay? For those of you that don't know what a double underpass is, there's all sorts of passes, X-guard passes, there's all sorts of ways you can pass a guard, but one of I found to be, particularly with bigger guys, fairly effective is double underpass. There's a variety of ways you can get in here, but basically the idea being, I've got to get both of my elbows have to crest the inside of his thigh. I can't have one elbow in and one elbow out. Not that you can't pass with this type of configuration, but you're in a little bit of danger, and this is not the double under. For a double under, you've got to get both arms have to crest the inside of his thigh. Okay, right in the middle. If I can get my elbows to here, I have the leverage to complete this particular switch. If my elbows are out here, it's a lot harder fight to get my elbows in. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense. But if my elbows are right here, if you can't see, feel free to move around. Don't feel like you gotta look at the backside here where you can't see anything. Feel free to shift around. If my elbows are here, whether I'm doing it from this particular position, this elbow's already on the inside, this other elbow not. The other elbow's on this side of his thigh. If I can get my elbow to this side of his thigh, this transition is super easy. It's just a little loop because the center of the circle is already on the inside. So the rest is easy. Okay? That's just kind of a quick little, there's 1,000 ways to get here. Okay? And I don't want to belabor how to get there. We're going to go from here. Okay? Whenever I get here, this is a powerful position because what I've done is I've captured his hips. His hips are immobilized, or they should be, or I'm hoping they are. From this position, you can grab the belt, you can grab your own arms, whatever, to bind his hips. The whole idea is to bind his hips together so that you kill his hip mobility. So people with active hips, if you can immobilize their hips, you're immobilizing 90% of their game. So if you immobilize the hips, what I'm going to do is stack him. I can stack him by either sitting back and dragging him to me, okay, or I can come to him. Okay? Either way works just fine, all right? But the whole idea is to get him under, find his hips, and get him into this stacked position. Or I could hybridize the two. Pull him a little bit to me, come a little bit to him. All right? It kind of sucks there. Okay? I'm not doing anything. I'm just chilling. Okay? And it kind of sucks.
Creepy looking.
A good fight looks like bad sex. Okay. I can either walk to him or draw him to me. Either way, I want to come up on top of him. I'm going to drop my pelvis down and rest my weight right at the base of his pelvis. Okay? And it does look creepy. There's no question about that. But it is highly effective. Highly effective position. From here, he's got a whole host of problems and very, very few solutions. Okay? From here, the pass should be inevitable. The pass should be yours. If I can stack him, what I like to do from here is what I like to, for people with active hips and they're fighting you, they're throwing their feet down, they're trying to do stuff. I call it the egg, all right? If you take an egg, come on, dude. If you take an egg, just a regular egg, one side of it is smaller, the other side is larger. And it's very difficult to hold an egg up on its end. But what we're going to be doing is taking the fat end of the egg and balancing it on top of the small end of the egg. And that's what we're doing with this particular move here. You've got to find that balance point. You'll feel where that balance point is. Play with your partner here and feel where that balance point is. You'll find it. It's effortless. Once you find it, they're snug there. Can't move from. That's fine. There it is. Okay. He's pretty stuck there, and there's not a whole lot he can do. As he thrashes around or whatever he wants to do, I can just make slight adjustments, keep that egg where it is, okay, on its end. It's just a matter of balancing it. From that balanced egg, from that balanced position, I dictate, or sometimes I let him dictate which way he wants me to pass. I really don't care. Now, for you big guys, when you get this position, okay, and you're up on him, right? Take your time. Put your weight down on him right here. All right? My pelvis is just resting on the back of his pelvis, and what I'm doing is I'm compressing his diaphragm. Very difficult for him to breathe. Very difficult for him to move. And so, don't get in a rush when you get here. How is that? It's awful. As you can tell, this is nothing for me. I'm expending no energy, nothing. And he's suffering immeasurably. That's what I want. And he's in a terrible spot, which is what I want. So, double him up. You can grab the D to help get your balance point. There it is. Okay. Now from here, what I can do, normally you're not going to have your hands disengaged. But from here, what I'm going to do, then throughout the course of the thrashing, he's going to pick a side. He's going to do something that's going to come off, okay? As his hips rotate this way, I know where I'm going to go. If I want to keep him in the egg, I just recenter it and keep him in the egg, okay? If I'm ready to pass, as he starts to go that way, I just direct his hips. I cannot let him control his hips. His hips cannot come free. I redirect them to the ground as I go to the side. Okay. As he goes to roll, whatever direction, that's fine. I direct his hips, and I've got no space between one and another. As he goes to roll, as he goes to flop, you just, like water, fill in the side where he was, the vacuum where he was. That's your spot now. And as you come around, direct his hips to the ground, keep his hips level. The axis of the hips is very important to pay attention to in any move, in any position. The axis of the hips, which is basically from hip bone to hip bone. What is going on with that? That's what we're doing here, is just directing the axis of his hips down to the side. Right? If I ignore that, then his hips are alive. And he can start using them. He can create openings. He can create opportunities. I don't let him have that. I've immobilized his hips here. Stacked him. Keep his hips immobilized, okay, until I'm ready to pass. As he's coming over, see how I just kind of slide off to the side, and there's never a breaking contact. I just like water slosh down through me. Come up with his hand, and then you switch. And we'll go with the switch. But let's play with that, okay? Anybody have any questions or understand? All right, let's do it.